Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom review. As you can see by the title below, this is on episode 15 of Macross Delta, and this one was definitely more of another build-up transition episode. Last time we focused more on, Water Cure and Delta. This one we focused more on the Winderman, and actually we had a lot more dialogue and a lot more things for the Windermans than we've had, period, for the whole season. So it was pretty interesting to see on that note, and also see more of the Windermans and see how their whole that was interesting was even their style was kind of like 1800s kind of look to what all of them were wearing. It was interesting to see how everything was forming out and how everything led up to the one point to which we finally do see that Lloyd Hines may be the one that is becoming king, but it's obviously Lloyd that is using his coronation and using him. He's more of a figurehead, I would say, while Lloyd is the one controlling, the strings and behind the scenes. Also with, I figured out his name was Burger Stone or something like that, the leader or one of the guys from the Epsilon Foundation, which is the person that I was thinking the whole time was behind the whole conspiracy of who dropped the bomb on the dimensional weapon on the Winderman planet. And we finally get to see what happens, and it was actually a nun's special ops plane that flew in and dropped that dimensional weapon. So you finally do get to see, how we saw in the last episode, a little bit of behind the scenes when those guys were talking about how a failed plan 7 years ago, if that had worked, then they wouldn't have this problem. Obviously that means that the nuns special operations, probably behind the scenes, not the regular forces, knew about this, though Ernest and Arad did look like they did have an inkling about what happened, oh my gosh, no, they're showing it kind of thing. So a lot more things are starting to pop up on that point. A lot of conspiracy stuff is being thrown out in this episode, along with just there's so many more questions I have in this one. One, obviously, was it really the nuns who did that? We already see that it was the nuns' plane and all this kind of stuff, and the special, the behind the scenes, that there was those guys that were saying that that plan was an operation of theirs. But it's possible that they were kind of joined together. Maybe they worked with Lloyd, who seems to be, behind the scenes controlling all this stuff. Even with Keith, I honestly thought that Keith would have fought him in this disagreement kind of stuff, but he kind of just laid back and was just as long as it's for the Winderman, for the wind and all that kind of stuff, I don't give a crap. I'm going to be doing my own thing. And obviously we saw him kicking ass in this episode, pretty much 1v the whole fleet practically by himself in this episode. That was the only action we got, which was pretty good, but it wasn't crazy kind of action that we saw in the last episode 4. It was just Keith being a total badass, him losing his eye, of course, or half his face, so that was pretty cool to see as well. But obviously there's is the nuns the only ones behind the scene? Obviously I'm still thinking the Epsilon Foundation has something to do with this. I have a feeling they're controlling the behind the scenes, controlling the strings. They're the puppeteer controlling both the nuns and the Winderman as well. It just seems that guy just screams out that he is behind all of this at the moment. I could be totally wrong, but that's my opinion at the moment with that. Another big thing that we learned in this episode was obviously in the last episode we got to see that Mikomo was getting some dreams of some sorts, right? And in this one, it correlates and connects to this when she sees the ruins popping up. She's like, oh my gosh, those are the ruins that I saw in my dream. So she has some type of connection still yet in the past or something with the protoculture ruins and protoculture civilization, that it's really getting me more and more interested that they keep throwing in these small hints in each of these episodes. I honestly cannot wait to learn more about Mikomo. She is an enigma in this whole show. We have all these kind of things that are being thrown around, but Mikomo always stands out as an enigma, as a mystery. What is she? Who is she? Why is she connected to all this? Why is she having these kind of dreams? It's actually really interesting to have her as a character when you already, you think of the main 3 characters being Mirage, Hayate, and Freya. But Mikomo is also a main character, and she's just got this, instead of theirs, of course, she's got a lot more mystery going around her that we do not know a single thing about. Then, that ending after the credits, when we find out that it looks like Hayate's father might be a bad guy or something. He's like, that guy he ended up saving was like, Arad, why are you hanging out with Right Immelman's, or I always don't know how to say his name, son, you know? So like, why wouldn't he? Is that a bad thing? Was his father bad? Some people I read in the forums a little bit that they were talking about how the dad might have been the one to, you know, drop the bomb, the dimensional weapon. And if so, that's pretty damn crazy. Another thing is, where is the dad too? Is he dead as well? I'm kind of confused on that, because before, you know, Arad kind of talked like, you know, he was good. How, you know, like he would be so proud of Hayate, and, you know, our little blah 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 is flying with the wind now and stuff. And I always thought maybe that he was a good guy. Obviously, we find out he was in the army, traveled a lot, so I was thinking maybe he was with Arad and stuff. And all of a sudden, the way the guy says it at the end, it just gives me this like total, you know, Hayate's dad was not a good guy. He was actually like, why are you hanging out with him, kind of thing. It looked like a betrayal in a way. Like, what the hell? That's another thing that just like literally from the beginning, they always like, they kind of like threw that in with about Hayate's dad, and I was always like, what the hell is behind, you know, all the mystery behind who is Hayate's dad? What does he have any, you know, connection to all of this kind of stuff? And things are starting to open up for that as well, that literally there is so many questions I have right now. Like I said before, Hayate's dad, who is the one behind all this conspiracy? Who is the one really pulling the strings? Then, of course, you know, what is Mikumo's connection to all of this? There's so many things being popped up right now that so far been awesome build-up episodes to the point where when these next few episodes come out, it's probably going to be pretty dang crazy and insane, and I honestly cannot wait to see those episodes. But this episode, honestly, like I said before, it was more of a build-up transition episode as well. Definitely more on the Winterman side. We got to see more about them, see more of their pain, see more of, like, you know, their reasoning for the war and everything. Obviously, you see Heinz's coordination, seeing Lloyd using that to his favor. When Heinz started singing like that full song, it was actually really nice. And like when he was singing and the light was on him, it was kind of angelic. I was like, damn, Heinz, what's going on here? You know, it was pretty cool, honestly. And then, of course, seeing the whole battle going on, the nuns not even having a chance, you know, Keith just being a total badass. And then, of course, that was the end. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot this one thing. The opening. We finally got the new opening song. And I don't know, it's hard for me to say at the moment. I did enjoy it. I like the fact that we get to hear like pretty much everyone individually in the song. It was a nice song. It wasn't anything special. It may just have to grow on me. Just like the original opening, I didn't care for it as much as some of the songs in, you know, the whole season overall. But that opening did grow on me more and more, especially when they used it more and more in the anime itself. So maybe, who knows, I'll end up liking the opening more as we go further on into this. Maybe they'll sing it as well. But so far, it's an okay opening. I did enjoy it a little bit. Like I said before, I like the whole fact of, you know, being able to hear them individually singing every one of them, because, you know, a lot of times we don't really get the Reina and Machina really their parts kind of showing off as much as the others. So it was nice to hear them more and see more of that in there as well. Like before we already seen the ending, to which honestly, like I said before, I really enjoyed as well. The ending I like more than the opening at the moment, but that can change, I'm not too sure. But yeah, the only song we really got besides the opening in this song was, of course, I guess, Heinz singing. That was pretty much the only other song. But yeah, that was pretty much the episode. An episode full of conspiracies and everything being thrown out. War is now on the front. Lloyd doesn't want the Wintermans just to, you know, save, or whatever they say. They say save and, you know, bring freedom to the global cluster or whatever. But now he wants to just take over the whole galaxy. They're the ones that, you know, are worthy of the protoculture kind of stuff, not the humans. And he wants to just completely destroy the nuns' government. So that's pretty damn insane that he's going for that, and that all the other Wintermans are, you know, saying they agree with that. And at the moment, it looks possible because of how strong Heinz's singing is. So I'm wondering if now that all these ruins are up, will Watercure be able to confront and fight against Heinz's stronger singing now? That's the big question that we gotta wait to see for the next episodes. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this Anime Kingdom review. That's really all I gotta say. Like I said before, a good build-up transition episode filled with so many things that literally has me just like wanting to learn more and more. Like I cannot wait to learn more about Hayate's father, learn more about Mikomo and her connection and her past and all this kind of stuff. And then of course, who really is behind the scenes? What is Lloyd planning? What is the Epsilon Foundation have anything to do with this? What is the nuns and the whole dropping of the dimensional weapon? Did they really do that? Why did they do that? The reasonings, all that kind of stuff. Did Arad and Ernest know about it all along and not tell anyone? That's the big question. Like literally there's so many questions in this that like I could just keep listing them, and like literally that's what makes like these kind of episodes so good, because a lot of times you see these episodes and like, oh, it's kind of boring, but to me it's like, holy crap, so much information, so many things that I cannot wait to learn more about, But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I already said that before. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And yeah, like I said, if you did enjoy, then feel free to leave a like. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And yeah, until next time, guys. See ya.